Put that first bottle. Pull the first bottle out. See what got for clarity.
Any odor?
No. You got the sample number, right? All right. This is sample number 3E.
I can't. Hey, Larry, there's somebody that's moving right from the other side of that shed over there.
Yeah. There's a creek that runs through this tree line off in the distance, somewhere just over 3 miles long. In that one creek, there are 31 CAFOs, concentrated animal feeding operations, that eventually drain into that one specific creek. So we've actually started doing some checking on this creek, on these waters, to see what we're coming up with.
Here in eastern North Carolina, the area is rural, the people are poor, very little political clout, and we have one of the heaviest concentration of swine in the world. And very soon we'll likely have the highest concentration of poultry operations in the world. This river was just a paradise. You catch more fish in just a few hours than you knew what to do with. This was a place that you could really make a living fishing. And then all of a sudden, in the early 90s, my son and I began to see fish with sores on them. We began to see fish dying in larger and larger numbers, and then we began to get the sores that the fish had. We continued fishing until this river out here was coated shore to shore with these dead fish. There were so many dead fish they were burying them with a bulldozer on the other beach. So we shut everything down. And I remember the early days. I went out to near the mouth of the river, and I could see sediments running in and different things, but I didn't see a source anywhere which would account for all the carnage that was going on in the river. When I got back to New Bern, I told the pilot, let's fly up the Trent River to figure out what was wrong with this river and get it fixed. When I got into Jones County, I began to see all these pink Pepto-Bismol looking lagoons. I didn't know what they were. I had no idea. I saw the barns, but I really didn't know what I was looking at. Everywhere you look, you can be at 1,000 feet over Duplin County. You look out over the horizon, you can count 100 lagoons as you look around the airplane. 100. I remember I called some folks over, some friends I had in Division Water Quality in North Carolina. I said, hey, what are those things? And then he said, Rick, don't you know? Those are hog lagoons. You know, you say pink lagoon. Doesn't that sound nice? You know, you got a girl in a bathing suit laying out on a little chair and table with some cocktails on her. Everybody's stretched out in front of the lagoon. Here's what's going on in a lagoon. You got 10,000 pigs in these confinement buildings. And what they're doing is they're defecating. They're pooping right on the floor, and it goes through slats. And then it goes under the floor out to these huge cesspools that are nothing but dirt lined. No concrete liners, no plastic liners, just basically dirt. It goes in that lagoon, and as that lagoon begins to fill up with this fecal marinade of feces and urine, they got to do something with it. They shoot up in the air, and it ends up in the ditches, and it ends up in our water, and then our river goes out of balance, and the fish begin to die, and people begin to get sick. Imagine 2,500 cesspools like that cooking in the hot summer sun in eastern North Carolina. And if you don't expect something bad to come out of that, well, I got a bridge to sell you.
This is now some of the filthiest floodwater ever seen in this country. In the mix, millions of gallons of concentrated hog manure. Worried about disease, state officials are shipping in portable incinerators.
Sooner or later, might be swine flu, it might be avian flu. Something bad's going to happen in America. Now, I'm not a scientist, but it takes an idiot not to realize that that's going to happen.
That may be a rendering truck.
We were creating the perfect storm. I mean, it's not if, it's when there's going to be another really dangerous flu virus.